Today we're going to start our microgreens. And one of the easiest ones to grow are peas that I have in front of me right here. So if you're not sure of all the different kinds of microgreens and how long you should soak them in water, a general rule would be 8 to 12 hours. So what we're going to do is put them in here in the water and let them soak for about 12 hours. And we have a cap that will allow us to empty out the water twice a day and also tip it completely over upside down to let any extra water out. But for the first 12 hours, I'm just going to let it soak. All right, so the next seed we're going to try is sunflower seeds. Now the ones I have are not shelled, so they shouldn't take as long to soak, but we're still going to do it same amount as our peas. Now from what I hear is sunflower microgreens are some of the best tasting, so I'm looking forward to trying them out. But when you try these, keep in mind that everyone has different tastes. There's no accounting for taste, so you just have to try it, see which ones you like. So let's go ahead and pour our sunflower seeds in, soak them. We'll do the same thing for 12 hours overnight. All right, pretty easy. Let's go try a couple more. The next seeds we're going to try for microgreens are garbanzo beans or chickpeas. Now, some people will simply grow these into sprouts and eat the sprouts directly, or they will then blend it up for hummus. I'm not sure exactly how far we're going to take it, but let's start out and soak them for 12 hours just like the others. The next seed we're going to try from microgreens are adzuki. They're like a reddish maroon color with a white eye. If you can see them on the camera there. Okay. Our next microgreen is mung bean. It's a greenish, kind of round oval, has a little bit of an oval shape to it. Now I am expecting a lot of these seeds to expand. I don't know how much. The next seed we're going to try is hard wheat. Now this one is a little bit different than the others in that when it does grow, it's going to be in like a grass. So the texture of a grass is not the most enjoyable to eat. So people use these, blend them up, put them in smoothies and things like that. So we're going to soak them just like the other ones for overnight for 12 hours or so, and see how far they expand. So I'm going to start out just doing 6 microgreens right now. I have 12 to try out. But if they all grow at the same time, I'm going to have a lot to eat all at once. So if I wasn't doing this as a test, I might even stagger them out a little bit more and maybe do a couple at a time. But for all of you, I'm going to do a batch together of 6 and then do 6 more. And then just see how they come out. So this batch are the larger seeds that I think will fit in our trays without falling through any of the holes. And then the smaller seeds, it looks like we will have to use the paper that came with them to put them on top of the holes so they don't fall through. I also heard you can use a paper towel if you run out of the paper that's included. Yeah, so looking forward to trying that out, and let's let them soak overnight for 8 to 12 hours. Okay, so here we are going to plant lettuce, and what I have is several different kinds of growing medium. I have 5 different kinds here. This first one is just all-purpose growing medium for vegetables, flowers. You can get that in a hardware or like a Home Depot or Lowe's. This one here is coconut husk. And so it's like a peat moss substitute. Holds water pretty well. Next one here is just straight sand. Doesn't hold water as well. The next one here is a 50-50 mix of the coconut husk and the sand. And then we have here clay balls, which are good for hydroponics. So we're going to see how the roots grow down through there. Now I have a total of about 20 to 22 different, we'll call them pots. I have enough regular all-purpose soil so that I can use that as a kind of a base test, and then I'll see how the others compare to it. And each one of these has 2 cups. The inside cup has holes poked in the bottom, so when I add water to it, it will drain the liquid out. And then the bottom cup has no holes in it, so if any extra water gets in there, I can dump it out if I want to, or leave some in there if I want to keep it moist. So that's just a really simple way to set up if you don't have extra containers. And I'm trying to keep things as clean as possible in the kitchen. I don't want soil all over the place. I mean, I might get a little bit because I have some soil here, and it's almost inevitable that something will get on the counter, but I just wipe it off a little bit. Yeah, so these are just cheap ways to make little pots for any size plant, whether you're doing lettuce or you're doing herbs. For now, we've got to add the lettuce seeds in these containers next. Okay, here we're going to try planting red oak leaf lettuce. I like to add some red lettuce into a salad. It makes it look nicer. Has a slightly different taste. Okay, so we're going to sprinkle a few in there. A few in there. That's plenty. And we'll just push it down with our fingers, cover it with some soil. Okay, here we are planting iceberg lettuce, a common mild flavored lettuce that a lot of people enjoy in a salad. Oh, we got so many seeds. All right, got a lot. All right. That's okay. If we have extra seeds, we can treat those extra ones as microgreens and just eat them. So we're not going to let any of these go to waste. So there is all of our lettuce varieties planted and in their double cup pots. Now, I know what you might be thinking, and that is that, hey, they're not all getting the same amount of light the way I have it set up. And that's okay. I mean, they are not all going to fit equally around the light there. So what I am going to do is each day I'm going to rotate them. So over a course of a month, they will get approximately the same amount of light. So I'll just rotate them in a circle and give them an equal chance. So then the next thing to do would be to water them. I'm going to add some of the plant nutrients. I'm going to add that into the water of the Arrow Garden here, inside there. Mix it up, and then take some of that out and water all of the lettuce. Okay, so with the watering here, we're going to try to be careful to try to give each plant about the same amount of water. Now, all the ones that have the all-purpose potting soil already in them, those were given water already before I put the seeds in. The soil was soaked in water, so they don't need water. Okay, the rest I'm going to give about that much. I'm just going to go around here and try not to disturb the soil here too much. Oh, and make sure that you all have all your cups are double lined. I forgot one, so it's leaking. See, that's what it's supposed to do. If you have water holes on the inside, and then the outer cup should be without holes, and then it should work like that. Okay, so out of 22 cups, I only missed one. So that's okay. But it worked out because I could show you, how it's supposed to drip out. Okay, we have all of our lettuce plants now watered. We are going to turn off the light. Now, in our Arrow Garden, we already have the reservoir full with water and the plant nutrients. So it's a hydroponic solution. And we're going to add the plants in them. Now, I was originally planning to do basil, dill, and parsley, and that's it. But I remembered a couple of years ago I did buy a pack that had some other vegetables in it. And I kind of feel guilty if I just throw them away and plant more basil. Even though I love basil and I always run out of it, I don't want to waste these plants. So this one is mini jalapeno. So we are going to put that one there. Then we have heirloom cherry tomato. We'll try that in the middle. That might grow bigger. And then we have another heirloom cherry tomato. Okay, so it looks like we have 2 of those heirloom cherry tomatoes. So why don't we put them on the outside and the jalapeno in the middle so they have more room, each one of them. And when they're starting out, we have these little plastic domes that we can put over them so that it keeps the moisture in. Okay. Good. Now in the other 4 spots, we will put, I'll do 2 basil, 1 dill, and 1 parsley. But I do have to stop and put the seeds in there. You know, I just wanted to show you a little tip that I picked up along the way. So if you have tiny seeds, which basil has tiny seeds, and so are some other plants, and it's difficult for you to only put a couple in at a time, and you don't want to go buy an extra seeder, what you can do is just get a regular greeting card. You can see here I'm just sprinkling some in the greeting card. Okay. And then all I have to do is place the greeting card over the hole and start tapping. Okay, I got like 4 or 5 basil seeds in there. I think one basil seed or 2 should be fine, but that's good. Okay, so we went ahead and we've got the basil, dill, and parsley seeds in the pods. Okay, so what we'll do with the AeroGarden is we will keep an eye on it. You know, I could take these labels off and put the domes on each one, but I'm not too worried about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to water it from the top with just a little bit of regular water. It should start soaking up water from the bottom up as well. Until the seeds get established and the plants get, you know, an inch or more. I just want to make sure the soil does not, and the sponges don't, the plugs don't get dried out. So for all of our tiny seeds, we just don't want them to get dried out because then they'll die off pretty quickly. So there we have the herbs are now planted.